सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्या निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनः उरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत् भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानां बाहुद्वन्द्वेन रत्नोज्ज्वलवलय भृता शोणपाणिप्रवाळेनोपाता वेणुनाळी प्रसृतनखमयूखाङ्गुली संगशारा कृत्वा वक्त्रारविन्दे सुमधुरविकसद् रागमुद्भाव्य मानैः शब्दब्रह्मामृतैः त्वं शिशिरितभुवनैः सिञ्च मे कर्णवीथि
Gurupavanapure Hantabhagyam Jananam. Namaskaram to all the Astikas. As Krishna was born and his birth was being celebrated in Gokulam, here Bhaṭṭatiri goes on to describe what was the happiness looking like. On the other hand, he does talk about Nandagopa, now the father of Krishna, visiting Vasudeva after he had paid his obeisances to Kamsa. So Nandagopa had gone to Mathura to pay his obeisances to Kamsa, thereby giving whatever was the revenue to be paid to him. We call it tax these days. After that, he happened to meet Vasudeva. This is what is described in the initial shlokas by Bhaṭṭatiri in this particular Dashakam. Tadanu nandamananda shubhaspadam dripapurim karadana krite gatam samavalokya jagada bhavatpita vidita kamsa sahaya janodyamaha. Tadanu bhavatpita, thereafter your father. Bhagavan, he looks at Bhagavan Krishna and says, Bhaṭṭatiri says, your father Vasudeva, vidita kamsa sahaya janodyamaha, who had come to know about the aids of Kamsa, because Kamsa had deployed Putana, Baka, Pralambha, Keshi, so on and so forth, right? So it was very well understood through sources. Vasudeva, being of the Kshatriya Kulam, had realized that it is very important to keep your spies here and there. As a father, he had to protect his son. He got to know the information that Kamsa, through his aids, like all these people, were trying to work towards Krishna's death. So, Vidita Kamsa Sahaya Janodyamaha. So, he had understood about the aids of Kamsa. Samavalokya Nandam. Thereafter, he met up with Nandagopa. Why had Nandagopa come? Gatam Nripapurim Karadana Krite. He had come to this capital, Nripapuri, Karadana Krite. Whatever was due to Kamsa had to be paid. Amanda Shubhaspadam. But he was in that joy, in that abode of, auspiciousness, happiness. That is when Jagadi iti. That is when realizing that he was on that cloud 9, Vasudeva tells him very clearly. What does he say? Aisakhe tava balaka janmamam sukayatedya nijatmaja janmavat iti bhavat pitrutam vraja nayake samadhiropya shashamsa tamadarat. Aisakhe tava balaka janma. Oh my dear friend, this particular birth of your son, this son who's born to you, Balaka Janma, Sukhayate Mam Adya. So, after understanding that this boy is born to you, my dear friend Nandagopa, I am very happy. See, Vasudeva gives you the scenario. He doesn't say, how do you know this is your son? He never gets into that. For him as a father, his son's safety is the foremost. So he says, Balaka Janma, Sukhayate Mam Adya. It gladdens me, Nijatmaja Janmavat. It gladdens me as if I have had a son. So that you have had a son, Nandagopa, but to me it feels that I have had a son, Janmavat iti saha samadhiropya. Thereby that Vasudeva attributing Bhavat Pitrutam Vrajanayake, the fatherhood to the chief of Gopas called Nandagopa, Shashamsatam Adarat, praised him with immense respect. Why does he agree that Nandagopa is also the father? While he is the father, why does he agree Nandagopa is also the father? Because there is a prachina shlokam. Janita cha upaneta cha yascha vidyam prayachati annadata bhayatrata panchete pitaraha smritaha. Janita, the one who gives birth to us, he is one father. Cha upaneta cha, the one who does the Brahmopadesham while the thread ceremony, Punal, Janeyu happens. He is the second father. Yascha Vidyam Prayachati. Vidyam Prayachati, the one who takes care of our education and educational expenses, the one who dispenses knowledge, that one is referred to as Pita. Vidya Prayachati. Annadata, the one who bestows food on us. Annadata. Bhayatrata, the one who removes fear from us. Panchaite, Pitaraha Smritaha. Panchaite, all these people, the one who removes fear from us, these 5 people are regarded as fathers. So, Vasudeva was very much aware that this Nandagopa treats Krishna as his very own son. He is going to give him food. He is the one who is going to remove fear, because Kurvel Kodunthodilan Nandagopan Kumaran. So, he is going to remove that fear. That being the state, this particular Vasudeva thinks that Nandagopa should be respected equally. Shashamsatam Adarat. So he praised him with equal respect. Ihacha Santya Nimitta Shatani Te Katakasimni Tato Laghu Gamyatam Iti Cha Tadvachasa Vraja Nayako Bhavadapaya Bhiya Drutamaya Yau. Iha Chate Katakasimni. As well near your residence, very close to your residence, Santi Animitta Shatani. There were many nimittas observed. Nimittam. There is a difference between Shakunam and Nimittam. Shaku in Sanskritam means bird. So Shakunam means when there is a certain movement of the birds, left to right, right to left, they do a pradakshinam, they do an apradakshinam, they raise voices, they shed their fears, they fall dead on the ground, and that we see all of these relating to the outcome of the futuristic events that we are going to see can be based on the movement of the birds. That Shastram is called Shakunam. Whereas let's come to Nimittam. When we talk about Nimittam, they are those omens that you see around you, barring the birds, of animals and other words that you hear, which is called Nimittam. So he says, Santi Animitta Shatani. Very many Nimittas were seen. Santi Animitta Shatani. They were not great omens. They were very bad omens. Very bad. For us it is Nimittam, omen in the general usage. Tataha Gamyatam Laghu. Therefore he returned home quickly. So Nandagopa reached Gokulam quickly. Iti cha tad vachasa. On account of all these words said, Nandagopa returned very speedily. Vrajanayakaha ayayau drutam bhavadapaya bhiya. Because his main concern was, when I am not there in Gokulam, I am seeing so much of durnimittam. What will happen to my son? So out of that fear that something will happen to you, Krishna, that your father called Nandagopa came rushing back, running back to Gokulam. Bhavadapaya bhiya. Next, Bhaṭṭatiri continues. avasare khalu tatra chakachana vrajapade madhurakrtirangana tarala shatpada lalita kuntala kapata potakate nikatam gata. Hey kapata potaka, the one who is a baby who can deceive anybody. Hey kapata potaka atra avasare khalu, at that very time. So Nandagopa has left Gokulam, gone to Mathura, paid his obeisances to Kamsa, met up with Vasudeva. Vasudeva gives him due respect, asks him to leave, looking at the Durnimitam, and he rushes home, right? Meanwhile, while he has left, what has happened while he was in Mathura? Here he says, at that very time, Atra avasare khalu kachana angana madhurakritihi, a certain woman, very attractive, she had come. Kachana angana madhurakritihi tarala shatpada lalita kuntala, with the braids of her head caressed by bees. So now this lady has to be described, like how in Kambaramayanam it is said that Shurpanaka dressed herself like a lady called Kamavalli. Here Kachana angana madhurakritihi, with such a beautiful form. Tarala shatpada lalita kuntala, kuntalam, beautiful buns of hair that she has got. In that lalita kuntala, very beautiful braid. In that tarala shatpada, the bees were hovering around. Kondai konda kodai needu teen ulavu kuni kun, says Tirumalizai Piran. So the bees were hovering, the bumblebees were they were buzzing and they were hovering around. Shatpada lalita kuntala gatate nikatam vrajapade, they thereby this lady reached your residence, which is Nandagopa's residence. Here it is Krishna's residence, because ultimately everything belongs to Krishna. Your residence, Vrajapade. So she entered Gokulam. What did she do to Krishna after that? Sapadisa krita balaka chetana nishicharan vayaja kila putana vrajavadhushviha keyamiti kshanam vimrushatishu bhavantam upadade. Iha vraja vadhushu kshanam vimrushatishu. Thereby these gopikas, for a moment, when this lady with such beautiful form, with bees hovering around her well-kept hair, saw her. Iha vraja vadhushu, all the women folk in Gokulam, kshanam vimrushatishu, for a moment they were wondering, iyam ka iti, who could this be? Sa Putana, that Putana. Well, they were all wondering who was this. This Putana, Nishi Chara Anvayaja. She was born in that very clan that walks, roams nocturnally. So he says Nishi Chara. Nishi Chara means nocturnal, the Rakshasas. Anvayaja, in that race that has produced only such Danavas, where was this particular lady. But here when I say Danavas, don't assume they are sons of Diti. Here it means Rakshasas. So Nishichara Anvayaja Krita Balaka Chetana, and she was extremely adept in taking away the lives of babies. Kadachid antarhita putanatma kamsaf prayukta kilakapi maya jimashete vajam yashoda kirar avivesha. So the Acharya says how she was extremely adept in killing children. Here is where he says hata balaka chetana. She was adept in killing those children. Sapadi upadade bhavantam kila. Suddenly she came in, these women were wondering, she came with the intent of killing. So she suddenly took you who were lying there in the house of Nandagopa on her lap. Bhavantam kila. Sapadi upadade. She first took the child in the hands, kept the child on her lap. What is she going to do with the child? Is she going to be successful in killing Krishna? Or is Krishna going to do what she wanted to do with him? All that in the next episode.
Life is a learning. Every day is a learning. So why stop? We are very happy to present Ramayana Pariksha RAP 2025. This is being organized by our trust Deshikadaya. It is an online examination. All that you have to do is to read the book Ramayanam Volume 1 that I have authored And 2, register for the exam. It is happening on the 22nd of June 2025. Exciting prizes. And the biggest prize is reading the Ramayana and answering the questions. Age no bar, geography no bar. So why stop? Register soon. Namaskar.
कल्याणरूपाय कलौ जनानां कल्याणदात्रे करुणासुधाब्दे कंवादिदिव्यायुधसत्कराय वातालयाधीश नमो नमस्ते। नारायण 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 नारायण